Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to go over some of the recent announcements of the great bald man himself, Dana White. Dana White, after the threats of being oiled up online, has been cooking with said oil. And I have avoided listening to this video, however, I'm just going to spoil it right now. There is a few fight announcements for the UFC Abu Dhabi card on August 3rd. And normally I would not be this hyped for a fight night unless it's Saudi Arabia, because the UFC just loves these Middle Eastern countries that are mysteriously donate a lot of money to the UFC. I'm not saying anything. I'm not even saying it's illegal. But I understand the business. And I knew that this Abu Dhabi card that was coming up was going to be pretty interesting, because instead of it being a numbered card, it's a fight night. And I'm going to let Dana White speak for me here. Dana White is going to be cooking. Let's go through this.
Fight night, Abu Dhabi, Etihad Arena, Saturday, August 3rd. In the main event, you have the best prospect in the bantamweight division in number 10 ranked Umar Nurmagomedov, taking on number 2 ranked Corey Sandhagen.
Cooked. Immediately, this main event's good. This Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov fight has been a fight that has been talked about for quite a bit now. If you don't already know, this fight was already set to happen. But then some stuff happened with Umar Nurmagomedov's team, and Corey Sandhagen ended up having to fight Rob Font. The Rob Font fight was so overwhelmingly boring, and Corey Sandhagen was training to grapple that entire way up, plus a torn pectoral muscle. It just became a wrestling event where Corey Sandhagen, who is known to be an exciting fighter, kind of had the most boring fight of his entire career. And bada bing, bada boom, Chito Vera ended up fighting for the title. So Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov, we knew this fight was going to happen. I knew this fight was going to happen in Abu Dhabi. But, I thought that was going to be it. I thought they were going to trade us to an Umar Nurmagomedov versus Corey Sandhagen fight and then fill the fight with Dagestanis. But no, Boss Man continued to cook.
Sandhagen in what is the number 1 contender fight at 135 pounds.
Okay, the Boss Man himself says that this is a number 1 contenders match. That is really interesting, because the UFC is gearing up for Sean O'Malley to do a double champ fight. Understand that is what they're teeing up Sean O'Malley for. Sean O'Malley is going to be fighting Merab Dvalishvili at the Sphere at UFC... It's either 306 or 307. Fuck, I'm messing that up. It's one of those. I'm sorry. All the thoughts going through my head. All I know, it's going to be at Mexican Independence Day in the Sphere. Sean O'Malley versus Merab Dvalishvili is the main event. And they're gearing Sean O'Malley up for a double champ fight against Ilia Topuria in Spain early next year, or maybe even late this year. I'm going to say early next year, though. So saying that this is a number 1 contenders fight, all I'm saying here is don't be surprised if there is a long period of nothing's going on. If Umar Nurmagomedov beats Corey Sandhagen, they're going to have Umar sit out until the next time they go over to Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia, and they'll be good. If Corey Sandhagen wins, then I can see Corey Sandhagen forcing an interim in the meantime, because Corey's pretty active. So, very interesting that they're making this a number 1 contenders match. I'm just going through this, just giving my thoughts.
In the 5-round co-main event, Nick Diaz is returning to the welterweight division to fight number 14 ranked Vicente Luque.
I knew Nick Diaz. That's what got me wanting to make this video. A 5-round co-main. Nick Diaz versus Vicente Luque. 5-round co-main event. UFC Abu Dhabi, August 3rd. Dana, calm down. I understand they told you were about to die if you didn't do a 1-week bone broth fast, which sounds like ass, by the way. But brother, if he was still chubby, Dana, bro might have just had a heart attack just saying that. Nick Diaz not only making a comeback, but this has to be his 2nd retirement fight. Like, understand, the lore of Nick Diaz, all you really need to understand is that USADA fucked the career of Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz will always be the better of the 2 Diaz brothers. I will say it. Nick Diaz is one of the few people to fight GSP and Anderson Silva. Did not get finished by any of them. Nate Diaz is good, by the way, but Nate Diaz is not as good as his big brother Nick. Nick Diaz was robbed of his entire career because he tested positive for marijuana. I'm not kidding you. Marijuana was, if you tested positive for marijuana, it was more, they punished you more than actually testing positive for steroids. Understand. That's how crazy they were back then. So Nick Diaz coming back after having the walrus performance that he did against Robbie Lawler, who is now retired, by the way, putting up against Vicente Luque, who, to give you an idea of how quickly this sport is changing, Vicente Luque was supposed to be a stepping stone for Ian Garry at UFC 296, and then since that fight fell through, Vicente Luque was supposed to fight another contender in Sean Brady. Sean Brady ended up getting a staph infection because jiu-jitsu, and Vicente Luque ended up having to fight Joaquin Buckley because they thought Buckley was going to lose. Buckley beats Vicente Luque. Now Vicente Luque is looking like he's, he is in the tail end of his career. There's just no way else to say it. But he went from being the dude to finish Bilal Muhammad to, he's fighting Nick Diaz. Very interesting career. Do I think this fight means anything? We'll get to that into a second because there's another fight that got leaked that I want to talk about.
And what is certain to be an absolute war. Number 4 ranked Chito Vera is returning after his title fight against O'Malley in March to take on former world champion and number 6 ranked Davison Figueiredo.
Listen to my theory, boys. Hear me out. Theory time. The winner of this, if Corey Sandhagen beats Umar Nurmagomedov, or Umar wants to be an active Dagestani, the winner of Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov might face off against the winner of Davison Figueiredo, Chito Vera, interim title, while Sean O'Malley goes off and fights Ilia Topuria in Spain. That way, you can make that on the same card as this, and you can have a build-up and really nice promo. Chito Vera, I understand. People are trolling on Chito. Chito might be Wolverine with the durability that he has. Figueiredo is old. Figueiredo looked really good against Rob Font and submitted Cody Garbrandt. Figueiredo wants to make a title run, and I do appreciate him going up against Chito Vera. Petr Yan versus Chito was also a fight that I was banking on, but Petr Yan said there was some weird stuff in negotiations that just didn't pan out. From what I understand, my guess is it was somebody on Petr Yan's team that said they didn't want to do the fight. That's why Chito Vera is fighting now and fighting Davison Figueiredo. I think the best case scenario for this is they fight the winner of Umar Nurmagomedov and Corey Sandhagen for an interim title spot, or the winner of this fight fights the loser of that, and they get closer and closer to the title. Figueiredo, Corey Sandhagen, Figueiredo, Umar, that's cooking right there.
Figueiredo is undefeated since moving up to 135 and is coming off a finish.
Okay, that's 2 fights. One of those was against Cody Garbrandt. I don't like to rain on somebody's parade, but undefeated. Dana White goes into promoter mode. I'm like, okay, that's not a crazy stat. You beat Rob Font and Cody Garbrandt. All I'm saying.
Over Cody Garbrandt at UFC 300. Number 7 ranked McKenzie Dern is facing number 2.
Okay, I'll let him cook. McKenzie Dern. What are we doing?
10 ranked Lupe Godinez in a fight that features 2 of the most active strikers in the...
Active strikers! Okay. I'm done. Listen, I don't mind a McKenzie Dern fight. Absolutely not. I do not mind seeing McKenzie Dern fight. That is absolutely no problem to me. Lupe Godinez? All right.
115-pound women's division.
Damn!
And opening the main card is a fight between the legend, Tony Ferguson.
Please, Tony, end on a win. MMA gods, grant him this win, please.
Moving up to 170 pounds.
Cooked. We're cooked. Automatically cooked. You see, I heard Tony Ferguson was making a comeback. Some people in the Discord were talking about Tony Ferguson. I refused to see who he was fighting. I was hoping it was going to be at 155 Paul Felder. Because at least if you lose to Paul Felder, you understand it. We're cooked, 170. Last time he was going to 170, they were going to put him against Li Jingliang, which he was going to get cooked. But let's see. Let's see who's next.
And what could be his final fight?
What could be his final fight? I am going to cut him from the UFC if he refuses to leave because, take a fucking hint. You lost to Paddy Pimblett and you were gifted a perfect retirement fight against Nate Diaz.
To take on Michael Chiesa. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Michael Chiesa, I am now convinced, has to do a fight for the UFC to keep this dust job. There is absolutely no reason to do this fight. Wasn't Michael Chiesa's last fight to Kevin Holland and got absolutely throttled by it? It was either Kevin Holland or it was Sean Brady. Both are pretty good. Kevin Holland's just inconsistent as fuck. Sean Brady is a great grappler, gets TKO'd by Bilal Muhammad. Grappling to grappling, Sean Brady I figured was going to win. Michael Chiesa versus Tony Ferguson. Michael Chiesa is going to submit him, and I think he's going to submit him rather easily. Unless Tony Ferguson is able to TKO him. Michael Chiesa's chin, I swear he has that beard just to have some added cushion. Other than that, I think Michael Chiesa gets this to the ground, and I think he finishes this rather easily.
August 3rd from Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. I will see you there.
Look how happy he is. Look how happy he is. He's like, don't bully me, please. Okay, let's see it. I want to see what the internet has to say. 571,000. This is a good one. This was at 10:46 a.m. Let's see. Okay. Nick Diaz, baby. Okay. Did Dana just call him McKenzie Dern? I didn't pick up on that. Father's Day. Okay, people are just hyped for this Nick Diaz return. Okay. You know what? I might say it. Nick Diaz is how they're going to sell this card. Man, not even that. This is objectively a pretty good Abu Dhabi and Fight Night card. They took out the stops. I got nothing bad to say this. I do believe the prelims are going to be mid because there's absolutely no way that you could keep up this energy and then have a good prelims. This is a good Fight Night. Dana White is cooking with the oil that we threatened to douse him in. And I like this. I do like this. Dana White cooked. I'm going to give him that. Tell me, what is your favorite fight on this card? I just wanted to do a play-by-play breakdown of this. Man, absolutely love this announcement. UFC, dude, the summer for combat sports is looking rather peak. Okay? We got Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, Paulo Costa, Sean Strickland to kick off. And then we have, 2 weeks after that, UFC Saudi Arabia, cooking with Khamzat Chimaev, Robert Whittaker. And then at the end of the month, the Conor McGregor return. And then Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades, Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, Bobby Green, Paddy Pimblett, cooking. Arnold Allen, Giga Chikadze. And then we got an Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis to end it off. Rumors of Alex Pereira wanting to fight on that same card. And then now, UFC Abu Dhabi Fight Night. Thank you, Dana. That is a cook right there. I will throw coins in your hat, sir. That was a beautiful announcement. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. What event this summer are you most looking forward to? And what fight do you believe still... No, bark! No! What fight are you most looking forward to this summer? And what fight do you believe still needs to be made this summer? Put it in the comment section down below, and we'll review it. Thank you, everybody who continues to watch this channel. We have made it over 10,000 subscribers, and I will see you all next time. Adios, everybody. Have a great day.